Small reading book out. We're starting on page 210. This week our essential question is what do we know about Earth and its neighbors? So we've got a little bit of science in our reading this week. Discover the universe. Look up at the sky. What do you see? Astronomers first learned about Earth and its neighbors by looking up. Today, scientists use telescopes, satellites, and manned spaceships to study the universe. They make new discoveries every day about Earth and our solar system. So today we're going to write words we've learned about the solar system. So take out your reading worksheet. In the middle, I want you to write solar system. What do you know about the solar system? Maybe you know that everything goes around the sun. You could write that. Maybe you know something about the planets. You could write that. Maybe you know something about stars. Any of those, go ahead and write 3 more things that you know about the solar system. That's Wednesdays.
What?
So today, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to look at our vocab words. Flip your sheet over. You've got your vocab. We have amount, astronomy, globe, solar system, and then support, surface, temperature, and warmth. On page 212 of your book, you can see all of these new words. Amount. James drank a small amount of water. So for here, amount, what could you do there? You could draw a small amount of water if you wanted, because then you could use the same thing as this picture here. Next word, astronomy. Kaya looked at the stars when she studied astronomy. What would you like to learn about astronomy? You could draw a picture of the stars, the sun, planets. Our third one is globe. Our Earth is a big round globe. You could draw a picture of Earth for that one. A globe, big round globe, right? Solar system. There are 8 planets in our solar system. Name one planet in our solar system. If you wanted, you could kind of draw the solar system with the planets. When they do that, what a lot of people do is they'll put the sun right here in the middle. Maybe even a little bigger than that. Then you could draw like orbits going like this. So there's for one planet, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then what a lot of people do is they'll put dots along it. So there's Mercury, there's Venus, there's Earth, there's Mars, there's Jupiter. Maybe we'll put Saturn over here, and so on, and so on. Okay? That's just one way you can draw the solar system. You can do it however you want. Next, support. My dad and I support our favorite baseball team by cheering. So you could draw cheering for something, or you could draw your favorite team. Maybe your favorite team is the Bucks, or the Packers, or the Brewers. You could draw that there for support. Surface, an astronaut walks on the dry, dusty surface of the moon. So you could draw a surface there. You could draw the moon. You could draw your desk. You could draw an astronaut walking on the moon. Up to you. Temperature. We have fun even when the temperature outside is cold. You could draw a thermometer for that one. Warmth. Will and Paul cooked marshmallows over the warmth of a fire. All right, when you're done with all your vocab words, go ahead, press play, and flip it back over. We're going to read our story, Earth and its Neighbors, and then answer these 2 questions. All right? Earth and its neighbors. Essential question. What do we know about Earth and its neighbors? Read about how we have learned about space. This here in this caption, you can see Galileo. Galileo studied the sky with a telescope he built. If the sun could talk, it might say, "Look at me! Look at my sunspots! I am so hot." Without the sun, Earth would be a cold, dark planet. How do we know this? Thanks to astronomer Galileo, we know a lot about the sun and the rest of our solar system. Telescopes, looking up. Galileo did not invent the telescope. However, 400 years ago, he did build one that was strong enough to study the sky. When Galileo looked into space, he saw the rocky surface of the moon. When he looked at the sun, he discovered spots on its fiery surface. Astronomy, or the study of space, began with the simple telescope, but astronomers wanted to look at the sky more closely. They made bigger telescopes that could see farther than the one Galileo used. Astronomers still had many questions. Satellites, a step closer. In 1958, scientists launched Explorer 1, the first American satellite, into space. It was an exciting day for America. Soon, many satellites circled the globe and took photographs of Earth, the Moon, stars, and other planets. They collected a large amount of information. Satellites even tracked the temperature on the planet Saturn. Scientists have learned many things about the solar system from satellites. That's why they kept sending more into space. Soon, there were hundreds of satellites in space, making amazing discoveries, but astronomers wanted to know even more. That's why they found a way to put a man on the moon. One giant leap. In 1961, Alan Shepard became America's first astronaut. He blasted off into space in a rocket and then turned around and came back to Earth. His short trip was a big success. Shepard's flight proved that people could go into space. After Shepard, more astronauts went into space. Some orbited the Earth. Some walked on the dusty, bumpy surface of the moon. They took pictures and collected moon rocks. Astronauts wanted to answer some important questions. Did the sun's warmth heat the moon? Could the moon support life someday? There you can see another picture with this astronaut. Edwin Buzz Aldrin walks towards the lunar module. Aldrin left his footprints on the moon. See, the moon's very, very different. When Aldrin left his footprints on the moon, they're actually still there. Right? Because the moon doesn't have an atmosphere like we do. Scientists studied the photographs and the moon rocks that the astronauts brought back. They made exciting discoveries using telescopes and satellites, but it wasn't enough. Scientists wanted to get closer to the other planets. Soon, they found a way. Hubble and beyond. Scientists created another telescope, but this time it was gigantic. They sent it up into space. The Hubble Space Telescope was launched in 1990. It's still up there and orbits the Earth above the clouds. It takes clear, close-up photographs of stars and planets. It sends fascinating information back to Earth. The Hubble helps scientists study Earth and its neighbors. It also helps astronomers see planets outside our solar system. Every 96 minutes, that Hubble telescope goes all the way around Earth, so that is moving fast. It's moving very, very fast to get all the way around the Earth in 96 minutes. More discoveries every day. Scientists are still asking questions about Earth and its neighbors in space. With the help of satellites, telescopes, and astronauts, they will continue to explore and find answers. We're going to look at this chart here, and it says, what can we see? With our own eyes, then with a simple telescope, then with the Hubble telescope. So with our eyes, we can see the moon. With a telescope, you can see the craters on the moon. With the Hubble telescope, you can see planets way far outside our solar system. With our eyes, we can see the sun, right? You see it when you look up at the sky. With a telescope, you can see the sunspots on the sky. And then with the Hubble telescope, you can see stars way bigger than the sun and far, far, far away. Then, with our eyes, we can see Mars. With a simple telescope, we can see the clouds around Jupiter. And then with the Hubble telescope, you can see Jupiter's surface. All right, so we've got two questions to answer. You can, at the bottom of your page there, how have we learned about Earth and its neighbors in space? What did we talk about in that story? We talked a lot about telescopes. We talked about Hubble. You could write about that here. And then the second question, what do you see when you look at the sky? So look up, think about when you've seen it maybe in day or maybe in night. What do you see? You could talk about the clouds. You could talk about stars. Maybe if you've seen a planet before. When you're done, make sure this makes it back in your Monday folder.